Let me ask you something. Have you ever ruined a perfectly good date before it even started just because of the wrong text message? Texting before a first date might seem simple, but it plays a major role in building anticipation and setting the tone for that all-important meeting. Get it wrong, and you risk turning off your potential date before you even see each other face to face. But here's the good news: if you learn the right way to text, you can build excitement, spark curiosity, and make your date genuinely look forward to meeting you. Today, I'll walk you through exactly how to do that. By the end of this video, you'll have a texting strategy that not only keeps your date engaged but ensures that your first meeting is memorable for all the right reasons. Plus, I'll share some expert advice on avoiding common texting traps that can kill the vibe before your date even starts. So whether you're new to dating or looking to sharpen your game, you're in the right place. But before we get started, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on life-changing tips like these. Alright, let's break it down step by step so you can master the art of texting before your first date. 1. Keep it brief and purposeful. When you're setting up a first date, less is more. The goal here isn't to have long, drawn-out conversations over text. Instead, exchange a few brief messages to establish interest and logistics. Example: imagine this. You meet someone online, exchange a couple of friendly messages, and then they hit you with a, "Let's go on a date Friday night." How does 7 p.m. sound? Simple, clear, and confident. This approach immediately shows that you value their time and know what you want. Why it works. Long texting conversations can create what's called a false sense of intimacy. You end up sharing too much too soon, and by the time you meet, there's nothing left to discover. Pro tip: once you've exchanged 3 or 4 meaningful messages, suggest a phone or video call. This helps you gauge chemistry much better than texting alone. 2. Inject personality but don't overdo it. Texting is an art. You want your messages to reflect who you are while maintaining a playful and fun tone. Example: instead of saying, "Hey, what's up?" try something more engaging like, "Hey, I just tried this new coffee place, and it made me think. Are you team coffee or tea?" Why it works. This creates an opportunity for your date to share their personality, and it keeps the conversation light without diving into heavy topics. 3. Use texting to confirm, not converse. Once you've set up the date, don't fall into the trap of endless texting. Example: the morning of the date, send a friendly confirmation message. "Hey, looking forward to tonight. Let me know if anything changes." Why it works. This simple confirmation sets expectations and shows that you're thoughtful without being overbearing. 4. Avoid the texting traps. Let's talk about some of the biggest mistakes people make when texting before a first date. Mistake number 1. Over-texting. If you're sending multiple messages without getting a response, stop. Give the other person space to respond. Mistake number 2. Being too formal or robotic. Avoid messages that sound like you're reading from a script. Be authentic. Mistake number 3. Good morning and good night texts too soon. You don't have that kind of relationship yet. Save those messages for when you've built a stronger connection. Pro tip: if you're not sure whether you're texting too much, take a step back and ask yourself, would I appreciate this level of texting from someone I barely know? 5. Building anticipation with flirty banter. If the conversation naturally leads to some playful flirting, lean into it. Just don't go overboard. Example: date: I'm pretty competitive at trivia nights. You. Sounds like a challenge. Should I prepare my victory speech now? Why it works. A little teasing shows confidence and keeps the conversation fun. 6. Set expectations for communication. It's helpful to set boundaries around texting early on. Example: if you prefer calls over texts, say something like, "Hey, I'm not much of a texter, but I'd love to hear your voice. Can we set up a quick call?" Why it works. This approach sets the tone for open communication and ensures that both parties are on the same page. 7. When things go silent. If your potential date suddenly takes hours or even days to respond, don't panic. What to say? Send a lighthearted check-in. Hey, hope everything's going well. No pressure to respond quickly. I just wanted to say hi. Why it works. This removes pressure and keeps the communication door open without coming across as needy. Transition. Alright, we've covered a lot about what to do before the first date. Now let's talk about keeping that excitement going after you've confirmed the plans. 1. Keep the momentum going. After setting the date, don't go silent. A few lighthearted check-ins help keep the anticipation alive. Example. The day before the date. Hey, I just remembered this funny story about the place we're going tomorrow. I'll tell you when we meet. Why it works. This builds intrigue without giving away too much. 2. The morning of the date. Send a simple, friendly message. Example. Good morning. Just confirming we're still on for tonight. Really looking forward to it. Why it works. It reduces any last-minute anxiety about whether the date is still happening. 3. After the date. If the date went well, follow up with a thoughtful text. Example. Thanks for a great time tonight. I really enjoyed getting to know you. Why it works. This shows appreciation and keeps the lines of communication open. 4. Discuss communication preferences. Once you've been on a few dates, it's time to have a conversation about how you prefer to communicate. Example. I love spending time with you. Can we talk about how often we stay in touch between dates? I want to make sure we're on the same page. Why it works. This eliminates guesswork and helps build a stronger connection. 5. Handling changes in communication patterns. If you notice a change in how your date is communicating, address it directly. Example. I've noticed you've been quieter lately. Is everything okay? Why it works. This approach shows care and gives them an opportunity to share what's going on. 6. Final thoughts. Texting before a first date doesn't have to be complicated. Keep it simple, purposeful, and authentic. Avoid texting traps, and focus on building genuine excitement for that first meeting. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more dating advice. And tell me in the comments, what's your biggest texting challenge before a first date? I'd love to hear from you.